It is early Sunday morning here in good old Marietta, Georgia. The first day of fall, 9/23/2018. This is another episode of NCAA Top 25 Football Roundup, followed by my NFL schedule, and Rankination's expert picks for the Sunday NFL schedule. All brought to you by your Atlanta's pure sports talk, Rankination. Alright everyone, we're going to start today off hitting the Georgia college football scores. Alright, we're going to start off with the local Atlanta team, the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. They were playing at Bobby Dodd Stadium today, and they were hosting the number 3 Clemson Tigers, who were 3-0 in the ACC. Before today's matchup at Grant Field. With plenty of family and friends cheering him on, Trevor Lawrence certainly played like a starting quarterback today. Now the Clemson Tigers have decided it's time to push the talented freshman to the top of the depth chart. Lawrence claimed a leading role in Clemson's quarterback rotation, coming off the bench to throw 4 touchdown passes as the number 3 Tigers romped past Georgia Tech 49-21 on Saturday. I thought I played well, Lawrence said. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just going to keep attacking every week, trying to do all I can to help the team. After starter Kelly Bryant produced his 13 yards and 1 first down on Clemson's first 2 possessions, Lawrence entered the game early in the second quarter. The youngster, a native of nearby Cartersville, quickly guided the Tigers on a 7-play, 74-yard drive capped by a 17-yard pass to Hunter Renfrow that made it 14-0. And trust me, folks, that was the start of the rout by Clemson. It was just awful. I just kept the TV on just to possibly think that Georgia Tech might could do something, but there was no hope for him. Trust me. The quarterback Lawrence finished with 176 yards on 13 of 18 passes for the Tigers, who are 4-0 and 1-0 in the ACC conference. Lawrence also connected on another touchdown pass, a 53-yard score to Justin Ross, and followed by 2 other touchdowns. He had 4 touchdowns on the day. Dabo Sweeney, they weren't commenting on what the permanent arrangement there is going to be because the other starting quarterback, Kelly Bryant, has earned that starting position over the last year. Let me go on. I'm going to go on to bash my team, Georgia Tech. I love Georgia Tech. I'm there with you through and through till the end. But this year, I'm calling for Paul Johnson's head again. And I know that y'all are stuck with contracts. You've been hiring coaches and firing coaches from the basketball team to the football team to everywhere else. And you might not have any other alternatives. I don't know who Tech would hire to be a head football coach there that's worth a day. Does anybody that's listening to this episode, do you know any head coaches out there that are willing to come to Tech? I don't know. If you can think of somebody, a scenario for me, post it on Rankination, sportsfan.com. Anyway, I'm sick of Paul Johnson. He needs to go. The recruits that we have, they in the past they've been decent, but he's getting these little quarterbacks in here, and Taquan Marshall, that's the straw that broke the camel's back right there. His stats for today were he was 1 of 6 for 29 yards, no TDs. He had 25 attempts, 47 yards rushing, and 1 TD. His carry was 11 yards. Now, I've been wanting this guy, Oliver, to come in and do some things for Tech, because I really liked him when he came in for a couple of downs last week, and he did quite well. I thought, this is just me observing, but I am the man for in Rankination, so I'm calling for Oliver. What do you got to lose, Paul Johnson, except for more games with Taquan Marshall in there? He's a great athlete, but anybody could be a great athlete. I think Sebastian Janikowski's a great athlete. He can kick freaking balls like far, from 50 plus yards out. He's going to be a Hall of Fame kicker, but he's an athlete. I mean, he can kick the ball, but he don't need to be behind center and guiding the offense. So this Oliver guy, he's got a little size on him. Well, anybody's got a little size on Marshall because he's really short. And then we showed signs of the offense being all right. Our A and B backs they played good. I'm not saying the kids went out there and played their heart out, but we don't have a system anymore. We don't have the players. And Paul Johnson, you need to go. And if I'm sitting here next year still complaining about Paul Johnson, then golly, man, the Georgia Tech, they had no other choice but to keep him on. I don't know. He's wading water right now. He's in the crappy polluted Chattahoochee that once was. So I don't even want to talk about him anymore. Don't try not to lose us too many more games. Maybe we can salvage the season and get a bowl game at least. But anybody can get a bowl game that has a winning record. But we're not going to have a winning record if we lose to Pitt and South Florida, and then you get blown out by a rivalry game. Clemson, you should have made it close. Now, I preach this all the time, every year, to any of my friends, anybody that knows me. Georgia Tech is always good for one upset a year. Who's it going to be? It's not going to be the number 3 or the number 2 or whatever. I think it's the number 3 Clemson Tigers now. I don't think it's going to be them. I know it's not going to be them now because they already beat the crap out of them. So maybe it could happen to Miami or Virginia Tech. Preferably the Miami Hurricanes, because I really do not. I like Mark Richt. He's a good coach and a great Christian and everything else, but he's too weak when it comes to what it takes to have a winning football team and a winning organization to get to the top at least. He can keep you winning, keep you going 10 and get 10 wins a season for many years, but he's never gonna. He's not the kind of coach that was gonna get Georgia to where they needed to be. And now I wash my hands of Georgia Tech for another week. There we go. Now on to the Georgia Bulldogs. The number 2 Georgia Bulldogs went up to Missouri this weekend to take on the Missouri Tigers, who were 2-1. Missouri Tigers have a Heisman hopeful behind the center this year, D. Locke. He threw for minus 221 yards and a pick. The Bulldogs go on. I don't say they romped past them or they blew them out, but Georgia takes that one 43-29. It was and there's a lot of defensive highlights from what I was watching. I didn't watch the whole game. I kind of saw bits and pieces of it because the Braves were on. They were trying to clinch. They were clinching the NL East today. I had to watch that. That took precedence over Georgia beating the crap out of a lesser team, which they most certainly did. Well, Coach Kirby Smart learned plenty in his days as an assistant under Alabama's Nick Saban. Among those lessons was a tendency to nitpick victories. After the second-ranked Bulldogs beat Missouri, Smart bemoaned his defense's inability to stop the run and some costly mistakes that turned a potential blowout into the closest game of the season for the Bulldogs. He was finally asked if it says something about Georgia that the team could play a little sloppy and still win by 2 touchdowns. He says, quote, "It says that we can handle some adversity on the road, and that when we're challenged, we responded well," Smart said. "But I'm not pleased with the discipline and composure we played with." Missouri is 3-1 and 0-1 in the SEC and Southeastern Conference. Entered the game ranked 7th nationally in total offense. And Drew Lock, there he goes, his name. He's a Heisman hopeful, people, so remember his name. He had 11 touchdowns coming into the game. Georgia, 4-0, 2-0 in the SEC. Held Lock without a touchdown pass, but yielded 172 yards rushing and 4 TDs on the ground. Like he said, I would have thought that they would struggle to run the ball, Smart said. We pride ourselves on not allowing people to run the ball. And if you ask me, what's the one most disappointing thing is that they were able to run the ball. Georgia committed 7 penalties for 66 yards. Oh, that was easy for me to say. Sorry, folks. Not an egregious total, but Smart was upset at the nature of the penalties. He dropped face first to the turf in the third quarter when a roughing the passer penalty erased a third down stop. The Bulldogs opened a 20-7 halftime lead without an offensive touchdown. In the first quarter, Georgia cornerback Tyson Campbell stripped Missouri tight end Albert Okwuegbunam, if I said that correctly, sorry, swooped up the ball and returned it 68 yards for a touchdown. Along the way, he picked up an accidental downfield block from an official against Locke. In the second quarter, Eric Stutz burst off the left side of the Georgia line, blocked the punt, and returned it 8 yards for another TD. They were bailing us out in the first half, Georgia quarterback Jake Fromm said of the defense. Even with the offensive struggles, it was awesome to look up and see 20 points up on the board. Georgia couldn't quite shake Missouri in the second half as the offenses matched each other score for score. Fromm threw touchdown passes of 33 yards to Riley Ridley, 61 yards to Jeremiah Holloman, and 54 yards to Miko Hardman. Fromm was 13 of 23 for 260 yards. Elijah Holyfield rushed 14 times for 90 yards, and DeAndre Swift added 16 carries for 71 yards. Well, that about does it for the Georgia Georgia Roundup there, the number 2 team in the nation, goes on and does what a number 2 team in the nation is supposed to do, which is win, and win. We got a guest speaker here today helping me out with some of the stats from the rest of the Georgia football scores, and it's my Google assistant. Okay, Google, what was the Georgia State score?
Georgia State lost 34-15 yesterday against Western Michigan.
Thanks a lot, Google Assistant. There you have it from my assistant's mouth. Georgia State loses again to Western Michigan big time. Georgia Southern had the week off. And let's hear what my Google Assistant says about Kennesaw State. Okay, Google, what was the score of the Kennesaw State game?
Kennesaw State won 70-13 yesterday against the Clark Atlanta Panthers football.
Ouch! That's all I got to say about who Kennesaw State defeated badly. They need to go back and maybe revamp the whole playbook, defense, offense, and everything else that goes, and all the intangibles. And there you go for all the noteworthy Georgia college football teams and scores. Now we're going to run through the rest of the NCAA football top 25. For the rest of the top 25, we have Washington. Number 10 Washington was hosting Arizona State today, and Washington ends up winning 27-20 up in UW. And today, number 19 Michigan takes on Nebraska at Michigan, and the number 19 Michigan Wolverines win 56-10 over Nebraska. Nebraska is 0-3, by the way, on the season. Georgia, as we said before, rolls on to beat Missouri. The number 2 ranked Georgia Bulldogs roll on to beat Missouri 4-0. They're 4-0 in the season, and Missouri's 3-1. They go on to win 43-29. Sorry, that might be a little backwards, fumbling over my words. Anyway, we're all on here. Number 23 Boston College was being hosted by Purdue, the Purdue Boilermakers, and the Purdue Boilermakers upset the number 23 ranked Boston College Eagles today, 30-13. Number 8 Notre Dame was traveling to Wake Forest today, and they traveled to Wake Forest to go on and slip by the Wake Forest Demon Deacons, 56-27. The number 8 Notre Dame Fighting Irish. The number 22 Texas A&M was taking on number 1 Alabama today, and they put up some points on Alabama, but Alabama goes on the roll Tide, 45-23, and it was Jimbo Fisher's first attempt at trying to beat Nick Saban in their conference. Number 12 West Virginia was hosting Kansas State today, and number 12 West Virginia rolls on to win 35-6. Other scores, we have the number 21 Miami Hurricanes hosting Florida International, and they go on to beat them 31-17. No challenge there. Like we said earlier, the number 3 Clemson Tigers beat Georgia Tech today 49-21 in a bad, awful win. Oh, Georgia happened to be that Georgia Tech was also in the prime on ABC, so good going, Tech. Good showing for the rest of the whole country to see. Number 4 Ohio State goes on to roll on to do their business against Tulane. They go on to win 49-6. The number 13 Virginia Tech Hokies took on Old Dominion today, only to lose to Old Dominion 49-35. That's an upset there, I'd have to say, in big time. Good for you, Old Dominion. I'm glad that y'all be knocked off Virginia Tech before we are able to. Well, so there you have it, their first upset of the day. Old Dominion, they beat Virginia Tech 49-35. We'll roll on through the top 25. We have number 17 TCU taking on Texas. An upbeat Texas team has won. They're 3-1, and they went over the 2-1, and then they go on to upset number 17 TCU. Our second upset in a row. They beat number 17 TCU 31-16, and now that might be Texas might squeak into the top 25 next week. Who knows? I'm just saying. The number 25 Brigham Young University, whatever they are, they beat McNeese State, no challenge, 30-3. Kentucky goes on to get their second upset of the season, I would say, against a ranked opponent, against the Mississippi State Bulldogs. They won 28-7. And Kentucky Wildcats are 4-0 in the SEC, or I think they're 2-0 in the SEC for the first time in many years. Texas Tech took on number 15 Oklahoma State today, only to upset Oklahoma State, their third upset in as many, or fourth upset in as many in the last 5 games I've talked about. They were beaten by Texas Tech today, 41-17. So, well, Oklahoma State, bye-bye. See ya. You're not going to be in the top 25 anymore. Speaking of which, the next Oklahoma team we have is the University of Oklahoma, and they go on to barely squeak by Army, 28-21. Wow. I'm telling you. Then we have the number 6 LSU Tigers, Louisiana State University. Tigers going up against a state rival, I guess, Louisiana Tech. That's old Terry Bradshaw's alma mater. And they go on to win 38-21. Which this shouldn't have been this close, fellas. You need to get your head out of your butt and start playing some ball. Anyway, they go on to win. Number 24, Michigan State. Michigan State Spartans go on to beat Indiana 35-21. Arkansas goes down to Auburn, Alabama, to Jordan-Hare Stadium, and lose to the number 9 Auburn Tigers, 34-3. Stanford was being hosted by the 20th ranked Oregon Ducks today, and the number 7 ranked Stanford. They matched up today on primetime and on ABC, and Stanford goes on to take that one 38-31 over the Oregon Ducks. Number 18 Wisconsin traveled to Iowa today, and they squeaked by Iowa 28-17, so they're going to hold their place in the top 25 this week. Oh, and the surprising University of Central Florida hosted Florida Atlantic today, and they rolled on to beat them by 20 points, 56-36. Number 10 Penn State won big over Illinois, 63-24. Way to go. My buddy George Browning, your alma mater, has pulled another one out. Thank you there, buddy. And I think that's all we have for today, people. We're going to round this segment out with a little, I don't know, I'd like to say play taps for Georgia Tech, but, their season's over with, and I'm really disgusted, I can't have a fun time this college football season because my team is not in it. Yeah, I can't say that they're in it, I can't say they're in it every year, but these such years suck. But you know what? The Braves are making up for my favorite college team sucking. So come on, Braves, make me proud. Make me prouder than you have in the last 20 years. I'm proud of all our division wins and stuff, and everything. But you know what, folks? I always say that you have to be a division winner before you can be a pennant winner, and you have to be a pennant winner before you can be the world champs. So you gotta take baby steps before you can take full steps. People, you gotta walk hard and walk the line before you can walk on top. Well, everyone, that about wraps it up for week 4 of the NCAA football top 25, with more commentary on Georgia college football teams, because this is, of course, Atlanta's pure sports talk, Rankination. This is Scott Rankin asking and reminding y'all to please subscribe to either my website or through Podbean, which is my publisher for all my casts. Thanks again, everybody. Have a great week, and we'll see you soon. Next podcast will be for the NFL Week 3 picks and schedule coming up. Go Falcons. Thanks again, everybody. Bye-bye.